Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Acid rain.
He's still having to buy
There
that.
you go.
all right, thanks you. Oh,
Look at it. I love it. We're bringing the chairs.
I-
Did you guys do, somebody else has done that?
Yeah, it's like wondering.
Probably
They
maintenance.
must have. Actually, I kind of like it. It's better that way.
Mm-hmm.
It looks more orderly.
Good morning, gentlemen.
We have no email correspondence, but the
Okay, great.
telephone's about to start. We might get some people calling in, maybe. I don't want to have that. I want like a nasty one to come in about me that I have to read. Because have you ever seen mean tweets on like Jimmy Kimmel?
He's in bed by
I'm in
9.
bed, yeah.
He's in bed by 9.
Last time I watched something that late was Johnny Carson,
Oh,
Goodness.
showing my age. Anyway, mean tweets.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's like
Okay.
celebrities will come on and like people like post nasty stuff about celebrities and they read that like nasty stuff online.
Yeah.
Like Governor Wolf did one.
Oh, yeah, okay,
And Fetterman.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you that one. I'll get a kick out of that one. Give it another minute just in case somebody else decides to come in. Yeah, if you want to start it now.
I have 9:59.
Give it another minute. I forget that. Oh, I always forget that.
I need mine off.
Ten seconds. All right, we will call this March 24th, 2020 meeting of Lawrence County Commissioners to order. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Chris, would you lead us in the pledge?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Vogler,
Here.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here. I will note, just for the audience, we're being recorded on a couple different fronts. Number one, the county's live stream, which is being sent out via YouTube, and two, internally for use in formulating our minutes. I'll also note this is the first virtual commissioners meeting,
Yes.
which I think is kind of cool. If not for the reason we're having it is due to the coronavirus outbreak, but I'm hopeful that we at least have a couple people watching via YouTube, which again, we're broadcasting to and will continue to broadcast to for the duration of the crisis. But up first, we have row officer reports and comments. I'm seeing two row officers here with us today. Do either the sheriff or the treasurer have any comments for the commissioners?
I do.
Rich, approach the bench.
Approach the bench.
Chair there for you. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I did want to submit that since I was here last week, the treasurer's office has processed an additional $782,038.50 in county taxes. So I do want to thank the taxpayers in lieu of the serious situation in our county for satisfying the county taxes. There's so much on the line at this point, but I'm very grateful that they are submitting their taxes, and I'm happy that they're mailing them in, that we are closed now, and they are utilizing the drop box as well. So, any questions for me?
Very good.
No, thank you as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, up next we have the sheriff. No, the sheriff said he doesn't do it. I'm sorry.
I'm good.
He's here keeping the peace.
We might need someone to drag out Amy. If she gets, crowding. But up next we have the public comment section of this program. Public comment for today, seeing as the courthouse is closed to the public, can be submitted to my email. It will be read aloud, assuming there's no vulgarity. My email for anyone that wants to submit comment is mboyd, B-O-Y-D, @co.lawrence.pa.us. That was submitted to the Newcastle News and pushed out on Facebook for anyone that wants to submit comment. I'm looking at my email right now. I'm not seeing any current public comments. However, I will check again at the end of the meeting in our second public comment section. If anyone listening right now wants to submit comment for the commissioners. Moving on to fiscal and contractual, we have the warrant register for March 18th and March 20th. I will give my colleagues a minute or two to look over that, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the warrant register.
I will make that motion.
I will second your motion. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Up next, we have approval of Tuesday, March 17th minutes. Again, I'll give my colleagues a minute or two to look over that, and then I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes or approve the minutes.
I will move for adoption of the minutes.
I'll second.
Hearing a motion to second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. No staff reports today. Commissioner reports and comments. Commissioner Vogler, you're on deck first.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank both of my colleagues for their ongoing hard work and the commitment they've undertaken as far as maintaining our operations here as best we're able to. I think what really got this ball rolling last week was the order that the Supreme Court gave to the President Judge relative to the curtailment of court operations. And we very quickly met with the President Judge and felt that it was prudent for us to all be consistent in terms of courthouse operations overall. And I, again, credit my colleagues because they had undertaken earlier in the week, all three of us did actually, but they focused on it particularly, talking with our fellow elected officials and our department heads in terms of determining and identifying a skeleton staff, if you will, in light of the fact that the doors are essentially closed to the public except for extreme emergencies where someone might need to come in. We have scaled back significantly in terms of the people who are working here. And so far, it seems to be working pretty well. And can't thank Judge Motto enough. Can't thank the row officers for their cooperation as well as our department heads. In closing, I gave thought to two words, the word permanent and the word temporary, because they're kind of opposite of one another. And I think we need to remind ourselves that the situation in which we find ourselves, as challenging as it is, it's temporary. Now, I don't know how you define temporary. None of us know how long this is going to last. But it's temporary. It's not permanent. And if we maintain our composure, both individually and collectively, and if we maintain patience and cooperation with one another, and civility with one another, we'll get through this. Thank you both.
Yes.
And thank you. I want to touch on a couple different points. First and foremost, just directly into business. We've compiled a list at this point of all county services that are able to be done either over the phone or over the internet or through another electronic means. That list is available on the county's website on our homepage for any individual, for example, looking to pay taxes. There's a link through which taxes can be processed. You can also send those in via mail, so you don't have to go to the courthouse, as right now we are restricted to the public. The other thing I want to mention is, and this sort of ties into the situation as a whole, I think in situations like this, we tend to focus on, the worst aspects of the situation, the worst aspects of humanity. You go onto Facebook right now and you'll be able to find pretty easily videos, for example, of people in stores fighting over the last roll of toilet paper or the last hand sanitizer. But I want to stress that, at least in Lawrence County, number one, we haven't had any of those instances, thank God. And number two, we're actually seeing the best of humanity come out. We're seeing people organizing food drives for kids that might need food. We're seeing communities rally around local restaurants that might be negatively impacted in an economic way over the course of this crisis. We're seeing school districts open their doors to allow students to get food, and we're seeing people taking care of elderly neighbors and family members. And I think that's a testament to the people of Lawrence County. And again, I think it serves to prove that there is good here. There are good people here, and we're seeing good be conducted all throughout this crisis. And so I would applaud our residents for how well they're adapting to this.
Absolutely.
And I also, just to close out, I also want to stress, I also go on the social media and you see misinformation like crazy. You're seeing, the National Guard's being mobilized. You're seeing, there's food shortages here. You're seeing, the end of the world if you go to social media. And I would want to stress that until you receive confirmation either through a governing body or a government agency or through an official news source, do not believe any rumors that you might see on social media, because 85-90% of the time, those are false. They only serve to spread misinformation. And in a worst case scenario, people can get hurt if you're not getting your information from the appropriate sources. That being said, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Spielvogel.
Okay, and thank you. And it's a great segue, I have to say. And we don't discuss what our comments are going to be before we get here, but interestingly enough, we're in tune. We must be in tune to each other. That when one set of comments just segues right to the next. And Dan, first of all, thank you for your guidance, experience, and knowledge of things, of the just in general, when we sit and talk and meet, that it's your experience and your expertise is very, very crucial to decisions that we make. And being there is just of the utmost importance. And thank you. You're always thanking us, and I think sometimes we neglect to thank you for the level-headed calmness. And this too shall pass, because it will. It is temporary. In the meantime, we do the best that we can do. And Morgan, yes, that we have to downplay those Facebook rumors and actually don't move them forward. Sometimes we say things. Well, I heard this, what do you think about that? And it just tends to make it worse. So we all have to exercise that, maybe silence is golden type thing at this point in time. And talking about the misinformation, I will take a minute to just relay information that we've received. And again, going to the proper sources, this is from the Social Security Administration, that yes, there's a scam out there that people are getting either an email or mail or a text or something that their Social Security benefits are stopping, and it is not true. The Social Security Administration, yes, it is closed, but they are working from home, and they will never, in any way, shape, or form, stop the benefits from coming. So if you do have any questions about it, visit the website, and it will probably have something like this, the fraud advisory. I don't know if you can see it at home. But please reach out to your elderly neighbors or elderly relatives and, people, because that's who they will be going after, or somebody with a disability, trying to scare them when there's no reason to be afraid. So they'll never threaten to suspend your benefits, unless you pay a fine or a fee. So that's a key indicator that it is a scam. They won't call you or text you with information like that. Just try to reach out and let people know that. And another thing about the good of the county, things that are going on and happening. The United Way is a great resource to find information on student and family feeding programs that are available in the community, as well as a listing of food pantries that are available up and running. Their Facebook page is United Way of Lawrence County, and their webpage is uwlawcty.org. Again, that is uwlawcty.org. There's a variety of information there, as well as COVID-19 updates, correct updates. And then, if nothing else, our 211 system. There's a wide variety of information out there on any services that are available to anyone for any reason in our area. So it's a great resource. If you don't know where to go or you don't know where to start looking at, you can always call 211. So I think we're on the right track. We're moving forward because, yes, life does go on. It's a different type of life right now, but it's temporary. And we'll move forward and carry on. Okay.
Thank you. And now on to the business of the county. I think it's important to note that even throughout the midst of this crisis, the county still has to operate and the county still has to function. And to that end, we have resolutions on the floor today, or on the table today, relating to both relating to general operations of the county and relating to mitigating some of the effects of the COVID-19 crisis. But the work here goes on, even though the building is closed. And we are constantly meeting with our department heads, our row officers, the Department of Public Safety, both in terms of running the county and in terms of, working to mitigate the effects of the current health crisis. But first up, we have a resolution under new business, a resolution to approve Strategic Management Planning Program, which is offered through DCED, the Department of Community and Economic Development for the state of Pennsylvania. What this program does is it's a program offered through DCED, and it brings in, you basically go out and you hire a consultant who will thoroughly review your operations, thoroughly review your financial situation, really give a holistic eagle's eye view. How is the county performing? Are you guys are we in good shape long-term? Are there areas that we should be wary of? Are there areas that we can make improvements? This consultant will go and interview every single department in the county, all the row officers, the port administration, to really dig in and make solid, good recommendations relating to the financial status of the county. Numerous other counties have undertaken efforts like this. And this program is also not only open to counties, but open to municipalities. But the benefit of the program is that for the initial round of the consultant, DCED will pay at minimum 50% of the cost of the consultant. Based on Lawrence County's current financial situation, I think we can expect to pay less than that, potentially 25%, maybe even 10% of the cost of the consultant, and have DCED foot the rest of the bill. But the real benefit comes down the line where you're looking to implement recommendations put forth by that consultant, where, for example, let's say the consultant comes back and says you have to upgrade your IT systems. You need to move away from your current systems, move into a cloud-based system. That would a change like that to overhaul a full information technology system could cost upwards of $500,000 to $1 million, depending on what we're looking to do. DCED would pay 50% or more of the cost of that improvement. And so effectively, we're able to, number one, gauge the county's current financial situation and get real solid updates and recommendations as to how we improve our financial situation. And B, we get sort of a third party, a person who's not already in the system, looking at our operations and making recommendations on how to improve our operations across the entire countywide system. I think it's really something that will make us more efficient in the long term, and allow us to better spend and better utilize the taxpayer funding that we receive to make sure that our taxpayers are receiving the most quality operation that we can possibly provide. But that being said, are there any questions on this program?
Please,
Okay.
please.
I just, after meeting and the valuable parts of the program, that is the fact, somebody from the outside coming in and saying, you know, this is your strengths, these are your weaknesses, let us help you with your weaknesses. And being able to put their money where their mouth is, I think, is exceptional, and it's available to us. It's additional dollars that we can use for upgrades. So I think that's great. I think it's a great program.
My recollection is, and Amy, you may recall, I think probably 13, 14 years ago, we went through a process like this.
Similar, yeah. I'm not sure if we utilized DCD funding for it, but we did do something like this.
And I found it at the time to be beneficial. And that's a number of years have passed. This is probably a very appropriate time for us to,
It's a great program.
yes.
Yeah, the DCD's been pushing it, trying to get all counties and local municipalities
Right.
to do it. And I know that's what's well funded. It's a well funded program too.
Mhm.
So.
So I would certainly support this proposal.
Great.
All right, well, in that case, unless there's any objection, we will make that resolution 2020 dash, that's what resolution?
63.
63. Thank you.
Oops, my apologies.
Up next, under new business, we have a resolution to extend effectively extend the face value amount of taxes owed for an additional 30 days until August 10th, 2020 with a 0% penalty rate. So what this resolution will effectively do is, you know, I think we're well aware that people right now are undergoing a period of economic hardship. You know, with non-life sustaining businesses being required to close under the governor's orders, and with the economy taking a beating right now, both in terms of the stock market and in terms of, you know, consumer traffic, I think the board recognizes that we're in perilous economic waters right now. And anything that we can do at board level, I think within reason, to help alleviate some of those, some of the economic troubles that our residents might be having, I think the board recognizes is worth consideration. And to that end, we are effectively, assuming we pass this resolution, extending the face value period of taxes from July 7th, 2020 to August 10th, 2020. And so you would effectively, residents would effectively have, I think it's another exactly 34 days to pay their property taxes at a face value period, which means you will not receive penalty if you pay on or before August 10th. After August 10th, that penalty period would be reinstated, and you would receive a 10% penalty on property taxes if you were not paid to that point. But I think this is something that we can do to help alleviate some of the challenges that our residents are facing right now. I think we're seeing other counties and other municipalities adopt similar resolutions and similar policies. And I think this is just another response that we are taking to help alleviate the pains of this crisis. But are there any comments?
Well, I think it should be noted that we had extensive discussions with our solicitor about this because there is statutory language, in other words, language that has been passed by the legislature, signed into law by a governor, stipulating the various periods, the discount period, the face period, and the penalty period. And our ability to alter these dates. The lawyers had to take a good long look at, but I know Solicitor Leslie consulted with other solicitors throughout the Commonwealth and felt that this would be a prudent and helpful move on our part. So I do want to make it clear that we put a lot of thought into this and also called upon our solicitor to make certain that the legality of it was such that it would be appropriate for us to bring to a vote. So again, when that time comes, I'll support it.
Any comments, Loretta?
Nothing.
All right, if there are no objections, we will make that resolution 2020-064. Then we have one more new business item for the day, and we have our very own Amy McKinney here for discussion and possible approval of a contract with Great Communities Consulting LLC for assistance in administering the CDBG program. Amy, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is just being, us entering into a contract right now for 1 year, beginning April 1st, 2020 to April 1st, 2021, for support with our CDBG admin. It would be work related only to CDBG within the county, and then our OBOs, which would be Elwood City Borough, Union Township, and Shenango Township. For $50 an hour with an amount not to exceed 20,000 or 400 hours.
Okay.
And then obviously we would be able to negotiate at the end of the next term to see if we need to move forward and enter into another contract.
Okay, and this would be paid for, this person will be paid for through CDBG?
Yep, 100% CDBG.
Okay.
Yep. And I don't need you to act on it today because their attorney's still looking over the contract. So if we can move it to next week, that would be.
That's acceptable with me.
Definitely.
All right, then I'll take a,
May I ask a question or two?
absolutely, sorry.
Thank you. I'm noting that this company is based in Mercer County, is that correct? Thank you. This would also be, unless I am mistaken, considered a professional service.
It is a professional service. We did advertise it and asked for proposals to be submitted, and we only received one.
Okay, so you did an RFP,
Yes,
request for
we did.
proposals, which
We're
is
required to do that.
different from a bidding process,
Correct.
because again, it's considered a professional service. Do you have any familiarity or any previous experience with this particular firm?
Yes,
You do, and you're comfortable.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Amy.
I was going to ask all those same questions. I just wanted to, he always steals my thunder on this.
Next time, we'll let you go first.
Can I just add one thing too, actually, just for the records, people know that our redevelopment authority meeting will be held via conference call tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
okay.
regular, or usually the fourth
Right,
Wednesday of the month.
the meetings
Yeah.
are
So
this
we will have a
Wednesday, okay.
conference call, we did advertise that.
Okay.
And so that the agenda's on our website, and we will be doing the same thing for our April 8th planning commission meeting too.
Just want to caution you, and I don't think it'll be an issue, but I know the Commonwealth has urged that functions such as this not go above 10 people in a room. And I might add, we're below that right now.
Yes, we are.
But your redevelopment authority is a 5-member board, am I correct, or is it 7?
Well, it's 5-member board, and then there would be 8 of us.
Okay,
Just to
just be
decide-
careful,
We are
you-
doing a conference call though.
Oh, what am I thinking? I'm sorry, you're not gonna, my apologies, you said that, so.
Well, no, but we had talked about that last week, but it was okay for us to still have our meeting, but the board decided we would do a conference call. And then our land bank board meeting we canceled, and there was no business that we needed to address at this time.
Please accept my apology.
No, thank you.
You said phone call and it didn't register.
And we'll plan to do the same thing for our planning commission meeting for April.
All right, well, unless there's any objection, we'll make that resolution 2020-065 and a motion to table it.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
All right, I will do this then, we'll take a motion to amend the agenda to vote on items 063 through 065, and we'll get to 065, a motion to table.
So moved.
Second,
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. First on deck, we have Resolution 2020-063. Whereas County of Lawrence will be undertaking a project under the Strategic Management Planning Program, and whereas County of Lawrence wishes to participate in said project, and whereas Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development makes available grant and aid to such projects through the State Management Planning Program, and now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, hereby authorizes Lawrence County Commissioner's Office to make an application for such grant on board's behalf. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Up next, Resolution 2020-064. Now therefore be it resolved by the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, the property tax penalty period rate shall be set at 0% until 4 p.m. on August 10th, 2020. After 4 p.m. on August 10th, 2020, the penalty period rate shall be set at 10% until the end of the year. And again, that's pushing that date back from July 7th until August 10th, 2020 at 4 p.m. So do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Finally, we have Resolution 2020-065. Now therefore be resolved that Lawrence County Commissioners hereby enters into a contract with Great Communities Consulting LLC to assist with the administration of Lawrence County Community Development Block Grant Program dollars. I will take a motion to table that until the next meeting.
I'll move to table.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Announcements. The next regularly scheduled Commissioners meeting will be at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, March 31st in this room. Due to the coronavirus, we'll be following the same method of proceedings that we are for this meeting. And again, that pretty much means the public is welcome to submit comments to my email, which again is mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us.
Did you get any?
We're gonna find out here in a second.
Oh, okay.
Gotta update the session. Mboyd. This is the fun part. This is the part that. Logging in. No, we have no public
Okay.
comment, thank you. All right, with that being said, and again, just to stress one more time, any member of the public wishing to comment, they can send that public comment to my email, mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. With that being said, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Lawrence County
Thank
Board of
you.
Commissioners is hereby adjourned.
Thank you, thank you. Morgan, question.
Yes.
Can we actually put the notice up on our website about the social security? Can we do that? Can I just give it to, I'll have to print another one, I marked it.
That's a good idea.
Yes,
No problem.
okay. Give it to Rick?
Yeah, Rick.
He'll do it. Awesome.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, very good.
Give me 1 second, I gotta shut the light.
So,
Go right up.
come on now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so